Hello everybody and welcome to this week's Wednesday Words on Wednesday the 22nd of October. My name's Debs Barrett from Adapt Counselling, and this week's topic is going to be about resentment. Have you ever caught yourself replaying the same painful memory over and over again? And that feeling of tightening in your chest when you think about what someone said or what they did or what they didn't do, that's actually a sign of resentment. And if you've ever struggled to let go of it, you're not alone. Resentment is one of the most common emotions I see in counselling, which is why I thought of making this video, and also one of the hardest emotions to release. Therefore, today I want to help you understand what resentment is really about and why we hold on to it for so long. And finally, to help you find peace of mind and start letting it go. That's not bad, is it? And resentment is a complicated emotion. It's a blend of anger, hurt and disappointment, and the trouble is it lingers, and it feels particularly bad when we feel wronged, like when we've never received justice or closure or an apology from someone that's hurt us perhaps. And it's not always about just what happened, but also we feel strongly about what should have happened. And psychologically, resentment is anger that's got stuck inside of us. And because we can't release it, it causes us major stress. You see, the anger wants to move, but it actually can't. It wants to defend. It wants to set its boundaries. But when it feels it has no safe place to go, it gets frozen inside of us, and this becomes resentment. We might say to ourselves, oh, I'm over it, it's not a problem anymore. But the trouble is, it goes deep down inside, and the emotions become like an unhealed wound. And therein lies a problem. It becomes almost like a lens through which we see the world. Why do we hold on to resentment even though we know it's hurting us? Sometimes it's because resentment can give us a sense of power. We feel stronger. I'm not going to let go of that. Why should I? When we feel wronged, resentment can actually make us feel morally right, a bit like taking the high ground. And it's almost sometimes can feel as if being angry protects our dignity. Other times we hold on to resentment because we're afraid that letting go means excusing the behaviour that's happened. But actually, we're not doing that. Letting go of that resentment doesn't mean saying, oh, that's okay. It means saying, I won't let this pain control my life for another single day. Does that make sense? I hope so. And sometimes we can stay very resentful because the hurt runs deep. I get that. The person who caused it may never understand, and that feels so unfair, because actually it is unfair, and a lot of things in life are unfair. But healing isn't about fairness. It's about freedom, about liberation, about us feeling lighter on the inside. Here's the hard truth. Resentment costs us far more than it cost the person. who caused it in the first place. It drains our energy, it keeps our nervous system on high alert long after the danger has disappeared, and it can even show up physically in tension headaches, insomnia, exhaustion. Emotionally, resentment effectively builds walls. It tells us, don't trust, don't open up, don't forgive. But those walls don't just keep others out, they also keep us locked in. And there was a therapist that said once, resentment is like drinking poison and then expecting the other person to suffer. Like drinking poison, then expecting the other person to suffer. It only hurts us. How then do we begin to release resentment? Not by forcing forgiveness, but by learning to understand and process what lies underneath. And I have 5 gentle steps you can take. Firstly, acknowledge the hurt. I know it's hard, but you can't deal with what you don't allow yourself to feel. Say to yourself, something happened that really hurt me, and I have a right to feel angry. So you're giving yourself permission. Secondly, understand what need wasn't met. In other words, resentment often hides an unmet need, a need for respect, a need for fairness, a need for safety, or even love. Ask yourself, what did I need that I didn't receive? That question turns resentment into insight. Number 3, separate the event from your identity. What happens does not represent who you are. When we identify with our wounds, we stay stuck in them. But when we see them clearly, it's then we can start to heal. Number 4, this one's really important. Practice compassion for yourself first. You did the best you could with what you knew at the time. Compassion doesn't erase accountability. It simply opens a door to peace. 5, redefine forgiveness. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It means releasing yourself from the emotional grip of the past. And wouldn't that be wonderful for that to happen right here and right now? You can forgive yourself. You can find your own peace. And even if the other person never says sorry, because they may not, that doesn't matter. What matters most is how you feel on the inside. Sometimes that process needs support. The need of a counsellor, the need of a good therapist, or even journaling can help you. Healing resentment isn't a single act. It's a gradual unwinding and takes time. Sometimes it can happen in weeks, other times it takes much longer. For all of us, resentment can feel pretty heavy, but it needn't be permanent. When we face it with understanding, it often begins to soften. When we learn to release it, even slowly, we make space for something new. Peace, lightness, and freedom. Remember, letting go is not weakness. It is, in fact, strength. It's choosing yourself over your pain. Isn't that worth at least trying? My friends, if this video spoke to you, take a moment today just to breathe and imagine what it might be like to finally put that heavy burden down. And if you've liked this video, please like, subscribe, comment and share with your friends. I am trying to build my channel to get the word out there and to help more people. The more people we can tell about these subjects, the more people we can help. Thank you very much for listening, and I'll speak to you next Wednesday. Bye bye now.